What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be taking a look at the new conference stories players that did get released in College Football Ultimate Team 25. If you are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Really appreciate all the recent support. More College Football Ultimate Team news here than anywhere else. So, Will Campbell, obviously the limited, RaRa Thomas, 85 overall. Jah-Marien Latham here left and looks pretty solid there, 85 overall as well. When you get down to the 83 overall, so we got two new 85s. 83 overall is the new one. Daylan Carnell, strong safety here. Does have 81 speed, good man and zone coverage as well. A good stud. We'll review all these cards here in a little bit. Jeremy James, Mason Taylor, an 82 overall, as well as Boo Carter. The 81 overall, Demonte Traynum, Samu, I don't even know how to pronounce that last name. I'm not even going to try. As far as our 81 overall conference stories today. Now, Here's the big thing for me. When you also do get Jason Jones, Jeremy Crawshaw, a punter. Okay. Here's the big thing for me. Let's start at the bottom and work our way to the top. These cards should be relatively inexpensive. That's the first thing for us to know and understand today. A lot of these, especially 80s, 81 overalls, you should be able to get for cheap. And I know last week, these conference story players were really solid. Jason Jones, 6'6", 340 pounds in the middle. Fits that 4-3 multiple chemistry as well as Auburn chemistry. Decent strength, decent tackler, decent pass rush. Obviously, bull rush there for the card. He's a fine D tackle at an 80 overall. There's nothing that really stands out about him, though. I mean, again, he should be like, what, 10,000 coins. But again, nothing that really stands out from him overall. Jeremy Crawshaw. Now, depending on his price, could be a really good value punter. Obviously, if you're like me, you'd never punt the ball. But I would say this, if you do want a punter, probably an upgrade over your current punter. Compare him to the other punters, see where he's at. But he does have 80 power, 79 accuracy. I mean, he's fine. He's a punter. He is what he is. Not a guide. Put high priority there. Samu up next, 75 speed for a D tackle is pretty solid. 6'3", 380? Yo, he's almost 400 pounds at the defensive tackle position. Just a balanced defensive tackle. And honestly, I don't mind him at all. 75 speed for a D tackle, especially, with the current state of the game, kind of fits the meta of the game if you do want to run a D tackle at the D tackle position. Right now, I'm kind of running a end at the D tackle position and working like that. But Samu, pretty decent at that defensive tackle position. Traynum, I mean, here's the problem with Traynum. He only has 79 speed. An 81 overall with only 79 speed. I talk about guys that fit the kind of meta right now of College Football Ultimate Team 25. I don't think Traynum really fits the meta. And maybe I'm wrong. We can see and time will tell. But definitely to me right now does not fit what I would consider the meta of College Football Ultimate Team right now. Not a running back that I would really prioritize right now. Boo Carter up next. Free safety, 80 speed. Maybe would like to see that be a little bit higher. And I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that. But compare Boo Carter to I'm just going to compare him to a guy we got last week at the strong safety position, okay? Bo Frailer here, 83 speed. So that's the big difference here. You're looking at a Frailer with 83 speed. Obviously, Boo Carter only 80 speed. Leaves a little bit to be desired. I would not prioritize this guy. I don't really like Boo Carter and that card very much at all. Mason Taylor, a tight end here. Hopefully, you're looking at good speed. 79 speed. Not the greatest, but he is 6'6". I just think there's better tight ends. Again, depending on his price, might be a solid budget option at that tight end position. These cards should be relatively cheap today into tomorrow, but I just don't know I just don't know about Mason Taylor. I mean, I know he's tall, I know he's long, lengthy. 79 speed is okay, but so far when I'm looking at these cards, I like last week's cards better. French was a beast. Keith Brown was a beast. Mott was a beast. Conyers blocking, if you wanted a blocking tight end, was solid as well. So hopefully these 83 overalls are good because we need them in a big time way. Jeremy James, right tackle. He's good. Oh, he's a really solid right tackle. Guy can't really complain too much about. Better pass blocking than run blocking. 6'5", 305. Pretty agile. I like Jeremy James. If you are in need for an offensive tackle, Jeremy James, especially for what his price probably will be pretty solid. Daylan Carnell. We're going to be comparing him a lot to our strong safety that we got last week. Okay, 81 speed, 82 man coverage, 83 zone coverage, 81 hit power, 6'2". Not bad, okay? Not bad. But let's compare him to who we saw last week at the strong safety position in Beau Freyler. And I like Freyler more. I do. The only difference between these two and the thing that Carnell is going to have the advantage of is Freyler has a 72 man coverage, whereas Carnell's an 82 man coverage. So if you have your strong safety playing a lot of man coverage, Carnell might be the better option. But again, Freyler is a little bit faster. It's just kind of going to be a trial and error process. I think they're probably pretty similar in who is better. But probably take the cheaper option between Carnell and Freyler. Now to the 85 overalls. The fun, the meat and potatoes part of today's drop. Jah-Marien Latham. Let's get it. 80 speed left end. Can do it all. I mean, he can do it all. 80 speed left end, good tackling, good pass rush, power moves, finesse moves. Can do it all on the field. I don't know if I like him as much as like some of the other left ends, and I'll go and compare him to some of those other guys on the auction house right now, because I mean that's really what we've got to do if we want to talk about who are some of your top options. So let's look at some of the left ends that we do have at 84, 85 overall, and then talk about how he compares to a guy even like a Joey Bosa, right? Because those are the things that we are going to have to talk about today. Because, I mean, there's not really much else within the conference stories to compare him to. So, at left end, here are going to be some of your top guys. Obviously, Bosa, you got Latham. So, with Bosa, let's start with him. He's got 80 speed. Honestly, he's taller, but if I'm honest with you, I think Latham's just as good. Speed's the same. Finesse move, his power moves better. I like Latham maybe more. Bosa's taller, longer. I don't know. But probably on the same type of level as a guy like a Joey Bosa is Latham. That's probably a solid comparison if I am you guys looking at, you know what? Okay, well, how good is he compared to some of those other top guys? Let's get it. Now we're going to RaRa Thomas, who is our next guy we're going to talk about today. We saw him yesterday in kind of the preview for today. 84 speed, 85 short routing, route running, 85 mid route running. He's good. He's good. But just realize guys like Mike Evans are going to be better than RaRa Thomas. So when it comes down to the wide receiver position, don't overpay for him. I know he's a new card, and if you can get him for a decent price, I'm fine with that. But don't overpay for RaRa Thomas, because there are going to be better wide receivers in the game. He is not worth like 300,000 coins, and that's probably what he's going to be going for, especially early on today. But just realize RaRa Thomas is not worth that price tag. So right now I see 1,873,000. If you're paying that much for RaRa Thomas, you've got to figure it out. Mike Evans clears that card by quite a bit, in my opinion. So just again, something to think about, something to keep in the back of your mind when you are comparing those two cards. Our last card today we're going to talk about is Will Campbell. And I know some people weren't excited about him is because he's just basically the better version of his base Will Campbell card. But when you're looking at left tackles or tackles in general, who is going to be better than Will Campbell? Your answer is nobody. Now, is Will Campbell going to be worth the price that he probably is going for? That's a separate issue that probably does need to be talked about. I don't think so. Okay, I don't think he's going to be worth the price, because he probably is going to be way overpriced, especially when you're looking at 84, 85 overalls. You probably can get one of the best left tackles in the game for 200,000 or 300,000 coins cheaper than Latham is going to be going for. So again, just keep that in the back of your mind. Latham probably is the best, or Will Campbell, not Latham. Will Campbell probably the best left tackle in the entire game. But unless his price falls to like 300,000 coins, you just can't make the case that he is that much more worth it than some of your best 84 or 85 overalls in the entire game. So when I'm breaking down this content drop in general from top to bottom, here's how I would break it down. Let's get the conference stories guys up. Obviously, I think Will Campbell is your best overall card, not going to be worth his price. I'd say Latham is better than RaRa Thomas. Depending on Latham's price, could maybe be worth it. But if Jonathan Jefferson, he's just as good, if not better than Latham. I'd take Jefferson over Latham side by side. Freyler is just as good as Carnell, so don't overpay for Carnell. Just compare their prices, see what's there. As far as right tackle, Jeremy James is fine. maybe a cheaper version of a guy like Will Campbell, gonna give you nearly just as much, 85-90% of him. Mason Taylor, don't love him as a tight end. Boo Carter, don't love him. Traynum, don't love him. Samu's a good D tackle, good budget value D tackle in there. And then when you're looking at the 80 overalls, Jason Jones, he's okay. The punter's okay. That's going to wrap it up for our workday video today, guys. Let me know who you guys are most excited about down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.